Okay, welcome. My name is Sarah Aderson, and tonight we'll be talking about how to speak once and profit forever. Right? Juicy topic. Can't wait to share more with you guys. Before I do that, I want to start off with an intention rather, just really to make sure that you receive the message that you are meant to receive tonight or today, whenever you're listening. And a little bit about me. You see my picture there. You also see my handsome son in the middle. He cleans up very nicely in one of my favorite pictures. And a picture of a shoe because I am an avid stiletto lover. And I want to take a minute just to fill in some of the gaps of my bio, right? There's more to us than just pretty pictures and social media posts and things like that. So for me, there, were a couple of major turning points in my life, but 2009 was one of the most significant ones. That's actually when that handsome little guy there, Caleb, was born. And during that time, that was a little bit traumatic for me to say the least. It was just really a time of me shifting from living in my mind to living in my heart. So it was really the start of my spiritual journey and what I call my heart work. And I was faced with a very significant decision. I had to choose whether I would be one of many or whether I would walk away. And that was from his father and the relationship he and I had. So I chose to walk away, and it was probably the best decision that I could have made as far as my personal growth, business growth, spiritual growth, everything, right? It wasn't easy, but that's how it started as far as my heart work. And then another significant time came in 2012. So I was working in corporate America at the time. I've actually been an entrepreneur since I was about 8 years old. I had a T-shirt business when I was 8. And I just told my mom I'm going to start this business and did iron-on designs and sold it to whoever I could and kind of embellished them. So I've been an entrepreneur forever. Even working in corporate America, I've always had my own business. So in 2012, actually 2011, things kind of shifted in corporate America for me. Got a new boss, went from a hero to a zero, like in 0 seconds flat. Maybe you can relate to that. Um, and, dealt with some corporate bullying and things like that, and really, had to come to terms with this is where I am. I do want to move out of this place, but I understand that there are higher powers involved and that I was here for a reason. So as soon as I accepted that I was there for a reason, the universe said, okay, well, now it's time to move. And I wasn't quite ready, even though I thought I was. So my position was eliminated, and I had the option. I could have stayed and gone into another area or leave. So I knew that if I stayed, I would not be able to be the mother that I wanted to be, the woman that I wanted to be, just the human, right? I knew that staying would not be, it wasn't my purpose. It wasn't where I was supposed to be. So I chose to leave with a infant, basically, because he was still very young, still is young. And I stepped out and became a full-time entrepreneur. And that is where Expand Your Heart came from because, again, like I said, my heart work started in 2009 with that lovely guy right there. And the important lesson that I learned was to expand your heart, expand everything instead of contracting in times of difficulty, turmoil, things like that. So did want to take a few minutes to fill in, like I said, the gaps between the bio because there's more to all of us than just a little blurb on a website or anywhere else. All right, so let's jump into tonight. We are going to talk about transforming any speaking gig into a product. So I'm going to go over like what is considered a speaking gig, and also going to go into the types of products that you can create. And I want to give you a simple process, right? It doesn't matter if you have all the information if you can't implement it. So I'm going to make sure that you have the tools and the resources to do that. So a speaking gig, what is it? So you can be a professional speaker where you may actually, be a keynote speaker at a major event or a small event, right? That's a speaking gig. It can be paid or it can be free, right? Even for free, it's still considered valuable experience in networking, but that is one type. Maybe you host a workshop or you participate in someone else's workshop as far as speaking. That's a speaking gig. A webinar, like what I'm doing right now, that's a speaking gig. Maybe you host your own podcast or a radio show online or an actual radio show. That constitutes a speaking gig as well. If you do any kind of interviews or interview series, something like that, or you are interviewed, that counts as well as a speaking gig. Telesummits, usually an interview, but it can also be just where you're presenting your genius to a group of people. That counts. And then really simply, a YouTube video, that's a speaking gig. So basically everything. Anytime you're speaking, it's a speaking gig, okay? So you can turn it into a product. Let's see what type of products you can do. And here are the major ones. So like an audio book, basically it's your voice in a book form. An ebook, you can go ahead and have any of your speaking gigs transcribed into an actual ebook. An MP3, where people can visit your site and just simply download it. Again, it's just an audio file. It can be a PDF, which is a simple document, or again, they can go to your site or you can send it to them as far as it's a PDF file and they can open it and review it. You can create an e-course. So if you're looking to go into coaching or some kind of, teaching capacity where you're serving others through educational marketing or to a degree like that, then an e-course would be great. A home study course where the clients or customers go through at their own pace. That's what a home study course is. A membership site where you post new information. It could be weekly or monthly, and people pay you for that information, and typically they'll pay a membership because they're getting exclusive tips and juicy information. A magazine, this can be a physical magazine or online, okay, digital version. Or a physical book, right? We talked about an ebook, which is virtual. Now you can also do a physical book. People still like to have that book in their hands and hold it as well. And you can also do a actual CD or DVD where you can pass it out and people can take it with them. Okay, so those are a couple of products. So let's talk about the product creation, right? How do you take this audio, this video, or anything like that and go into creating a product? Simple steps here, right? In audio, first thing you want to do is write a script, right? You need to know what you want to say and have it kind of planned out. If you don't want to write it word for word, then get an outline and start there, okay? And then what I suggest you do is record it in Audacity. Audacity is a free audio recording system. You can actually edit there as well. And I'll give you information as far as how to download that on your computer. But Audacity is great for editing audio and recording it. You can record directly in there. So the next edit, and with the editing, be generous with yourself because we can be our worst critic sometimes. So you want to not fault yourself for an or whatever, your phrase is that you use. And you're not trying to get out every and every because you're going to drive yourself crazy and it's going to take forever. Editing is a huge time zapper, and it can also be very frustrating. So if you plan on doing it yourself, be generous. Okay, love yourself. And then after you do the editing, if you choose to do any, you want to export it, and then you're going to upload it to sell it. Okay, and I'll go over a couple of places where you can upload it. All right, so it's really simple to do an audio. It doesn't look that hard. Okay, and for the video, again, you're going to start with the script again, or put it on index card, something, so that you know what you want to cover and how you want to cover it. And then go ahead and record it. Okay. Now, if you are trying to do kind of like what I'm doing right now, a presentation or a webinar format, then you want to go ahead and do your slides before you record it. Okay. And then after that, you can edit. And I put optional here because, like I just said, editing can be a time zapper, and it can really get you kind of stuck in that perfection phase. And what I say with perfection is perfection will keep you where you have dreams unfulfilled, right? So that's something you may want to share on social media. But perfection only leads to unfulfilled dreams. That's not what we're trying to do. Done is so much better than perfect, and that's why I'm saying editing is optional. People want to see you. People know that you're a real person, and you're going to stumble over your words, and as long as you're not doing anything too crazy or anything like that, leave it in there. You're human. It's okay. People actually like to see that. Why do we watch all those blooper shows and things like that? Because it shows that people are real. Okay? So, and if you are sharing on social media, go ahead and use the hashtag build an empire or hashtag build my fempire. While you're out there, feel free to share. And so after you edit, if you choose to, then you're going to download, right? For most videos, you're going to have to download it. And you can really record a video right in YouTube if you want to. There are a couple of different systems you can do on your phone, which I highly recommend. Most phones come with great cameras, great audio systems as far as the microphones. I honestly use my iPad or my phone for most things, and the camera on my iPad is awesome, So you don't have to, and it's an iPad mini, I think, right? So that's like $200. It's definitely worth an investment, and it's tax deductible for your business, okay? And then you can upload it to sell. And as far as uploading, upload it directly to YouTube, and you can just send people a link from there, and I'm going to show you how to do that. That'll be a live demo. Or you can upload it to a site called Gumroad.com. It's a great site for selling digital products. You just directly upload it there, send out the link to your customers, your clients, and Gumroad will deliver it for you. As far as profits, they do take a small percentage. Okay, so what if you want to do a print product, right? As far as the book or the magazine, something like that. So this is you've already created your audio or your video. Now what you want to do is get it transcribed. Okay, and so for transcribing, you can have a virtual assistant do it. It doesn't have to be that expensive. You can go to Fiverr.com, and I'll have all these listed for you in another slide. But it's Fiverr.com, and it's a great website. You can get things done for $5, which is a great number, right? For transcription, people vary. Some people do 15 minutes for $5. Sometimes you get 30 minutes. Some will do it for 2 hours. It's hit or miss. So what I recommend you do is actually hire a couple of different people and start small, like maybe give them one page to transcribe, or sorry, one video, maybe like 15 minutes or 20 minutes first to transcribe and see how they do. Or, like I said, hire a couple of different people. So for one video or audio, you're going to hire 3 people. So you'll spend $15 maybe the first time so that you can find the right person. Okay, so think of it that way. And, worst case scenario, you just have 3 really great transcribed documents. Okay. And then you want to edit, because there may be some things, depending on who did it and how they did it, that you want to change or just make it a little more polished or make it flow a little differently. Don't get caught up in the editing, but that can be a step. Then you want to add a cover image, right? Some kind of graphic for your product needs a cover. And again, you can do that yourself, or you can go back to Fiverr and have somebody else do it, or if you have someone else that you use for that, go ahead and do that as well, and then upload it. Okay, so here are your free resources. Again, Audacity, and that's where you download it, and it is free. Free conference call, that's what we're using. I'm actually using right now. And for free conference call, you can get most of it done right there. It is a free service. So for here, I have my slides. I'm showing them. It's going to give me a recording, and I can download it and upload it to wherever I want to, all for free. They do have a transcription service available for a small fee. So once my video is done, I can actually go ahead and, with the click of a mouse, go ahead and have it transcribed all in one system. And there you go. YouTube.com is another, obviously, really great resource for you. You can record your video, just go ahead and upload it right there. YouTube Capture app, you may want to check that out. As far as recording your video, you can edit as well in that app, and then it will post directly to YouTube for you. The Penxie app, that's available on iPhone and iPad. I don't believe they have an Android version yet, but this is an amazing app. So what you can do, this is great for those live speeches, right? If you're speaking live anywhere that we already covered, you want to go ahead and get this app on your phone. You can use it as a remote to where you're changing your slides. It's also going to record your voice and put it as a voiceover on it for you. So it's a really, really great app. And it is free. They do have some upsells in there, but basically you can use most of it for free. So check that one out. CreateSpace. So CreateSpace is great for doing your physical book, but not only that, you can do your audiobook there, or you can do a DVD there. So all of that can be completed. CreateSpace is a great resource for you as far as the self-publishing goes. And they also handle the fulfillment, right? And the fulfillment is the delivery. So they're going to send your book to whoever buys it for you. You don't have to pay all this money up front and fill up your kitchen or whatever room with tons of books like people used to do. Okay, so it's on demand. So when someone orders it, that's when they print the book, and that's when they ship it out. Okay, and they do all of it for you. Of course, you pay them when, or they take their cut rather, when the order is placed, and then you get a royalty. Okay. Kunaki.com is very similar to CreateSpace, but for digital products. So your CDs, DVD, fulfillment, they take care of that as well. And again, it's also on demand. Fiverr.com, we talked about that. So great resource for if you want help editing anything we talked about, or you need a cover or images. I mean, there's just tons of stuff on Fiverr, okay? But again, like I said, use your discretion. Maybe choose 2 or 3 people for the same job the first time, just so you can see who's good and what you like, okay? Gumroad.com, and that's for selling your digital products. You can always just simply use email and send it to a client or a customer. That's fine too. Gumroad is just, the next step up if you want a third party involved and just a little bit more of a professional image. You can do that as well. Okay. There's also, it's not on the list, but iMovie. So if you have, again, an iPhone or iPad, you can record on iMovie, edit, all of that cool stuff. Okay? So those are a couple of free resources for you. So let me show you how you can create a simple membership site. So I'm on my YouTube page, and you can just go to upload. So this is also a way that you can sell, again, your products, your digital products. I'm not going to actually upload anything because when you're sharing a screen, it never goes as fast as you want it to. But I want to bring your attention to this part right here. So the privacy. So if you're selling a actual digital product, you're going to want to do either private or unlisted. Now, the difference for private, it's not going to show up on your channel or anything like that. If you're connected to Google+, you can invite people from Google+, that's fine, but it's private. So only the people that you give access to will have the ability to watch your video or your product, okay? And this one for private, they do require that person has a Google account, okay? Now, unlisted is a little different. Unlisted, it's not listed, same thing, it doesn't show up on your channel, but this one, they don't need a Google account to look at the video. Whoever you give a link to can watch it. But the thing with unlisted versus private is for unlisted, people can share. And if it's a product, we don't really want them to share it. So just know that if you do select unlisted, as far as a private, I would recommend that you do, if it's a membership area or if after your speaking event, you want to give people the opportunity to buy your speech so that they can listen to it again because it was so fantastic and they want more of you and they love you, then I would go ahead and upload it to private and send them the link and invite them to watch it after they have purchased it, of course. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show you guys. Come back. All right, so your next steps, all right, all about taking action. So the next thing that you should do, if you don't have Audacity or you're not familiar with it, go ahead and download that because creating an audio is the simplest thing to do. You can do it, like I said, in Audacity as far as the editing part. If you don't have Free Conference Call, go ahead and create that account because you can do audio, you can do video. We even talked about how they will transcribe it for you for a small fee. Okay, so go ahead and get familiar with those, play around with them, get comfortable. Okay, now you can't edit in Free Conference Call, but you can record it and it's done. Get the Pinksy app if you're thinking about doing anything live or in person. And then 4, just use what you have. You probably already have some videos or an audio that is collecting dust on the virtual shelf somewhere. I'm sure you have something go ahead and use that, okay? And then follow the product creation process that I shared with you. Now, I do want to caution you, if you are doing like an interview series with other people or a podcast where you're interviewing other people, just anything that other people are involved in, you have to get their permission first, okay? And you want to do that in writing. I'm not an attorney, but you'll just need a simple document where both parties agree that you have royalty-free use of the interview or the video or whatever it is, and that both parties signed it and agree to it, okay? But you can feel free to consult an attorney for more specific information on that one. And really, it's about putting out there what you want. So the point of putting out other people's stuff or using it, their interview, you're not trying to take credit for anything, right? This is their genius and you're showcasing them. So you want to make sure that you go about it in the right way and that you have the right intention, because the goal is to get them more exposure, get yourself more exposure, and to serve more people. So as long as you are focused on that, it's fine. And if, for me, I've done an interview series before, and, if I always consult them if I'm going to use it in a product. Even though I have the documentation, I still say, I would like to go ahead and use this and create an ebook or something like that, whatever it is. I still follow up with them by phone or email, just again, and keep that paper trail and that record, because I don't want something to come back, right? I want them to be in the loop and know what's going on. And also, it's great that they know that I'm still trying to promote them and serve their audience and give them more exposure as well, okay? So just do that. If someone says, I've never had anybody say no, but if they say no, no big deal. Okay, like I won't do it anymore. Even though we have the agreement, it's fine, okay? So karma, big thing, always comes back. So if they don't want you to do it, don't do it. And if it's all in alignment, go for it. Okay. So that covers how to speak once and profit forever. Wanted to make sure that, again, this was really actionable and that you can take steps. So start where you are. In order to support you further, I have a free gift for you. It is an ebook that you can download, and it's called Work Smarter. And in that, you're going to discover 7 zero-cost tools to help you automate your empire, work smarter, and create the life you want. Okay? It's all about working smarter, building your empire, and really just serving more people. So if you're ready to automate, you can go to expandyourheart.org/work smarter. And you have my contact information. So if you do want to read my actual bio, you can go to expandyourheart.org and see all of what I do and who I serve and how I serve in the world. So you can learn about that there. Also, be social with me. I love to connect faces and names on social media. So you can find me at Facebook and Twitter, Expand Your Heart. Personal Twitter is SR Aderson, my last name. Google Plus and Instagram, expandyourheart.org. And then you always feel free to email me, sarah@expandyourheart.org, if you have any questions or anything comes up after this training. Let me check and see if there are any questions. Yay, Kayla, thank you. Okay, Jessica, let me unmute you. Okay, did you have a question?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
When you said royalty free, there was a word after that. What was it?
royalty-free usage, right? So, yeah, and that just means that, like, let's say I interview you, and I decide that I want to create a book out of that interview. So that means that you can't come later and say, oh, I want half of the money.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I wanted to make sure I got the right wording. Now, do you have a template or something where you can show us how that would be written? Because I think my problem is going to be that, because I'm a personal person and I'm going to want to do things and talk. I'm talking about my personal life, so I'm trying to learn how it is to make it business. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not really, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
it's more a lifestyle, so that's what I appreciate about the opportunity to learn this stuff from you, because I'm right at the beginning. I'm just going to go download my ebook. But I'm trying to look at it, it's having to accept that it is too different. This is a society where to get my worth, to get paid for what I do, I have to put that separation in it.
Well, I mean, what you're saying, it's an agreement, and you can create it in like EcoSign or something. I think EchoSign is the right way to say it. As far as a document where they can sign online, but what you're saying is in general what you want to outline what you're doing as far as, is this an interview series, or are they agreeing to give you or do a presentation or whatever it is, right? Outline what's going on, and then you want to clearly state that by participating, they're giving you royalty-free usage, and understand that it can be used in other forms, and that's what they're agreeing to. Okay?
Okay.
But I don't have a specific template.
Well, I know when I went to, I went to a convention a couple of years ago, and I kind of like made myself up a photo release for Nerves to Dream. You know what I'm saying? And, even though sometimes it was uncomfortable, after, hey, can you sign this? Or, but I did, I was told that it was important, because I was also doing, a project for another nonprofit. So I came across the stand, it's like, well, do I need to walk around with this everywhere I go, whether I'm on the, bus or whatever, but
you don't want to do it like that. You want to make sure that it's, your first contact is not when you're just going to ask somebody to speak or do something for you, right? It is about service and serving them first. So your first contact, no. But when you have an opportunity, so, if I see somebody, I meet somebody, and it's just more about learning how I can serve their community and help them. And then maybe the second or third, I may share with them an opportunity that I have. If I'm doing an interview series or I would like to have them on a podcast, I share with them the benefits, and then I get them on the phone, right? So it's not just, here, sign this, let's do this. It's, let's talk. Let's see how I can help you and your community and your people. And then from there, I want to talk to you about this opportunity, and I'll explain it to you over the phone or in person, and then we'll move forward.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Okay. Looks like I think that's it. All right. Well, I'm glad I got some good comments in the chat. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it and it was helpful. And until next time, I encourage you and I invite you to take inspired action to build your empire. Have a good day or night wherever you are.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.